You need to double check it real fast.
Hopefully, yeah. Go check just to put people in the right spot.
That was a little pen in the couch. They fall out of my pocket. Itty bitty like this tall. Pinky size. Hey, that's me. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Aaron's red.
Aaron's red. Okay. So this should be. Any standouts in that Briar list you want to bring up? Standout cards?
Do Prisms, or sorry, do Briars typically run Vigor Rush?
I don't even know what Vigor Rush is.
I'm pretty sure that was Arcane Rising. It's a generic.
That's a new one for me.
Yeah, I will cross number 2 celebration. You guys got the necklace, everything?
Yeah, we're good to go.
Equipment looks pretty standard.
Is he playing Crown or Skullcap?
Crown of Dichotomy, Crown of Providence, and Arcanite Skullcap. All 3 in the sideboard.
Oh wow, interesting. That's a lot of your sideboard slots, but I can respect it.
And then doing both hands, Vexing Quill hand, Grasp with the Arknight, double boots, Null Rune boots and Spellbound Creepers. Double chest piece, Spring Tunic versus Aether Ironweave. I think that makes sense. Like Briar does one trick pony. I can't get that to work in their service.
So our camera isn't frozen again, is it?
I think they were setting up.
Okay. Yeah, go take a look. I might be able, because I think I can fix it. God, I don't know. Jeez. This is...
Do you see anything at all?
Just, okay. I should be able to fix it.
Switch the input back out.
Yeah, so I'm doing. Might need some help on this one, yeah.
Okay.
As far as Aaron's list, a few interesting cards here. Is playing a copy of Quelling Sleeves, a single copy of Erase Face, 2 copies of Fyendal's Fighting Spirits, 2 Fog Downs, a full 3 That All You Gots, and then other than that is a fairly stock and standard Prism list. So we'll try to get the players up here in just a moment, but hopefully we can get things rolling very shortly.
Oh, nice.
Still white screen.
Yeah.
Let's see if it's getting the
I
feed.
listened to you last time. It might not be, that might be the problem.
Well, so I incidentally dropped a transmitter box, and it landed directly on the power switch to cut everything off. And I was like, man, what's my chances of that?
Nice.
Yeah.
Play the lottery.
So this is looking for a signal. We'll give it a second. Let me make sure this one's on there. Connection failed. Uh-oh.
Not again.
Here we go again.
Okay, so Vigor Rush is 1 for 4. If you've played a non-attack action card this turn, Vigor Rush gains go again.
Sure. That is a Briar card, yeah.
Yeah.
That is about as a Briar card as it can get.
I think the most beautiful thing is like 3 years down the road with the actual random common and rare generics over time just kind of sneaking their way in. The 5 secret tech we were told about, having the wax on just kind of mixed in there.
I love that Aaron is playing 1 copy of Quelling Sleeves in his equipment suite. I don't know what for, but yeah, he's playing. So for his arms, he has Goliath Gauntlet, Nullrune Gloves, Dreamweaver's Quelling Sleeves. He has 4 arm pieces to choose from. That's really interesting.
You're assuming each one for a different matchup.
I would think so. I don't know what matchup you're bringing in Quelling Sleeves for, though.
I like Quelling Sleeves against like Rosetta Thorn.
So Quelling Sleeves allows you to pitch a yellow into nothing, right? No, Quell is a replacement effect. So it's only the headpiece that lets you pitch for nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to ask him about that. One Amulet of Earth? Wow, okay, interesting. 1 Amulet of Earth, 2 Pursuit of Knowledge. This is pretty spicy. As far as, Briar lists go,
Well, it's interesting. He's still running a pretty heavy.
Yeah, he's running
build.
a lot more auras than
Yeah.
Matt Walsh was.
Yeah. Was that his last name?
Yeah.
I've never known. I think last stream we're like Matt Wellington.
No.
Matt Weatherford.
I don't think so. I think that's
Matt
Walsh.
Winning. Okay.
No, his list is a little bit more like, I guess what I would call traditional when it comes to Prism, where it kind of does some heralds, some auras. We'll see how it plays out. I almost think that Matt has the right idea currently, where
Race him.
it's really funny how we talked to the Briar player who was like, yeah, I think Prism's only really good if you're being aggressive, and Matt comes in and is just like, yeah, I decided to go like a very aggressive Prism list.
Yeah,
it's like, common
You
threads
corroborated
here.
these stories. Like, it seems good.
I see where the twine attaches from this thumbtack to the next one. Hey!
I was gonna say, we should be coming up in time. I just licked the outlet and put it back in, and it seemed to work. So
Now I just need to
Change the input.
change the input.
yeah, that should bring it back up for us.
It looks like the camera might have gotten bumped a little bit, so it might need to get like recentered.
Yes. Hey, now it's working. Yeah.
Yeah, it just needs to get recentered. Just a little like
What else did you get?
a little bit towards Nathaniel's deck.
I like which one. The person. Nice.
Foil.
Yeah.
Foil.
Yeah.
It's like a little. You see what I mean? Does that make sense? A little towards Nathaniel's deck.
Yeah. Yeah. There we go.
That's
A little bit better.
That's good enough.
Still on an angle, but we can still. All the glare is kind of rough, but.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the glare's been a thing the whole time. Yeah, it's
It was
better.
better, and then it got worse again.
So the last thing I do, I need to redo.
Yeah.
10-4.
I got you. There we go. Perfect.
No, too much. It'll be fine. We'll leave it like this. We'll fix it after the rounds.
Yeah.
I don't want to hold the players up anymore.
Yeah.
You can tell them to start. You can. Yeah, that's
That
good.
works. Yeah.
Well, any more adjustments we'll fix later because I just want the players to play. Okay, so Aaron has opted for Tunic, Crown of Providence, Nullrune Gloves, and Phantasmal Footsteps. What is that chess piece from Nathaniel?
Oh, that's the common one from Monarch. Either
Aether Ironweave?
Ironweave, yeah.
Wow, okay,
Lost
interesting.
from 1, breaks for 2 resources if you play attack and non-attack.
Okay, so I almost wonder if Nathaniel's just like on a budget.
No, it's actually a really good chess piece. Since you've lost the
Well, like
Skeletta.
I'm mostly just because like between the Iron Aether Wave and some of the attack choices.
Well, he still has a tunic. Like, he has the
so
equipment.
It's so weird. I don't know. Just the vigor rushes are throwing me off, I guess. Oh boy. Oh no. Channel out our old friends. Oh lord. Oh my god.
Going for a 9 erase face turn 1. Show your moves.
Oh my god. Yeah, that's probably one of the best starts you could have as Briar here. You get to put down a Channel Mount Heroic and also like try to turn off your opponent's cards for a turn.
Yeah.
And he took the damage. So he blocked 6, took 3, so the race face trigger still happens. Man. What a very commanding start there from Nathaniel. And is Channel Mount Heroic attack action cards you control F plus?
Yes.
So that also enables more Phantasm Poppers, right?
I think it's when they're attacking.
It's only when they're attacking.
I think it's when they're
Okay.
attacking.
I was gonna say, because one of my favorite tricks
Oh, that'd be dirty.
one of my favorite tricks is to like block with a 3 and then lightning press it.
Yeah.
Because you can do that for some reason to pop Phantasm. I mean, it's still not great because you're going down
2
to.
for 1,
You're basically you're blocking with your lightning press essentially.
Which is a unique way of manipulating that. Oh,
Yeah.
Did we freeze? That's like a freeze to me.
It might. We'll catch up in a second, maybe. It's frozen over here too. Oh no! Come back to us, camera.
We froze again. He's gonna hate this.
Camera, come back.
Frozen. No, it's frozen. You're sitting on the deck and it stops.
I'm gonna try switching the sources again. Let's check back on our good friends, Camera Hub.
Yeah, let's see if it brings up the.
Stream? The stream's still going, so the info's fresh.
So interesting.
Oh, bit close. We're back.
Got feed there,
We're
so
back.
we should theoretically have feed on the other.
Shut up, GeForce Experience.
I know,
We don't
God.
need your help. Okay, so now we should
Now just you
Change-
should
change
just
sources.
reset. Yeah.
certainly this time.
So I'm curious if maybe it's not generating enough power off of that. It's just causing it to have an issue.
Maybe. Okay, we're back. Nothing has really happened. That's the good news, I think.
That'll fix the issue.
Yeah, make sure their life totals are correct, but other than that. Alright, so we have a red War Tune Herald coming in. I think that's a red.
Yeah, looks like it.
Coming in for 7. Runic Reclamation was there to pop the first War Tune. So if we had a Phantasmal Footsteps activation. Alright, we're gonna Go ahead and throw the crown in front. We'll see what we want to do with the crown trigger.
Hard to guess not knowing what was in the arsenal.
Yeah, without knowing what's in the arsenal. Obviously,
Lost a card in hand to draw.
I will say that if Aaron is still at 37 through that Channel Mount Heroic turn,
Well played.
yeah, holy
Well
cow.
played.
Yeah.
Oh, Frightmare!
He actually
He
gets
got the Frightmare!
Oh my god, achievement unlocked. Play Frightmare
He
from
got the Frightmare!
Yes.
What?
So 13. I would like to deal 13 damage to you.
Can you pop it?
I mean,
No.
Nathaniel does have a good number of poppers in his deck, but the fact that he's sitting this long thinking about this decision
His two
means
cards.
that he probably doesn't.
He had two Earthlore Surge and a Revel in Rimeblood. Threw one Earthlore Surge away to draw a card. It's behind it's the back card in the hand right now. Didn't see what it was.
Yeah, this hand is not great if you're Nathaniel here, especially not great for blocking 13 points of damage.
Wow, that's an achievement unlocked. It's amazing.
And you know Aaron's just sitting there like, yeah, I built the best deck. I'm playing the best cards.
Fight me now, Matt W.
And yeah, he's just going to take all that damage on the chin. And we'll see what the comeback is here. But that is a very strong showing of a turn there.
Yeah.
To answer back from that channel.
If you're
early
racing a
channel
Briar and you're winning the race,
oh yeah, you feel good about yourself, especially as a Prism player.
and not even an aggressive one at that.
Yeah. And now Aaron can like elect to slow the game down a little bit if he wants to with a couple of auras. All right, so we have Pulse Candlehold. We'll see what Nathaniel elects to put on top of his library here.
Probably chill him out heroic.
Yeah, probably gonna take that channel back and imagine some kind of attack action. Looks like a
The Force of Nature? foil?
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so we're setting up for a big turn next turn, ideally.
So we're hoping for a good arsenal now and kind of stabilize.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the rest of his hand like super clunky for Nathaniel. He's gonna probably make a rune chant. Maybe we'll see an act. Oh, so this is one of those Vigor Rushes. Yep. So we're gonna come in for 4 with Go again, and then we're gonna get to attack with Rosetta for 2 and 2.
Yeah.
Nothing, crazy over the moon, but just get to apply a little bit of pressure back from this huge attack that Aaron made on his last turn. Revel in Rune Blood, and then I assume a Rosetta to end us off here.
We will come in for 8.
8. Yeah.
Yeah.
So very good.
Right back at you.
Very good turn to answer here from Nathaniel, and now Aaron has to like sit through this next turn knowing that his opponent is going to have Channel Mount Heroic plus Force of Nature on his next turn. So maybe you just hope he
doesn't have the attack actions to utilize.
Maybe you just hope he doesn't have the attack actions to utilize, or a blue card, another non.
Oh, the E-Strike.
He drew an E-Strike, and I think that was an Surge.
Yeah, Earthlore Surge.
Earthlore Surge. So Nathaniel's got the gas for the next turn. So we'll see how much pressure Aaron can apply here. But I think Aaron could be in a real bad way if Nathaniel's next turn turns out as good as it looks like it will. But we're gonna start with the War Tune for 6.
So there's no poppers. So if he can just kind of slam 2 or 3 attacks as a Prism player.
Yeah. So yeah, he's got a resource floating. I believe one of the cards in his hand is an aura. I think it was a Parable of Humility. So ideally, he just has another War Tune Herald here to attack with, and then Arsenal the Parable to try to mitigate some of this damage on the next turn. Daniel's just gonna take the 6. Herald gonna go and soul. It is another War Tune Herald. I think this one's a blue. Oh no, it's a red, so that's real good. So he's gonna get to put his opponent at 9 here, most likely. I imagine Nathaniel is like not at all interested in blocking on this turn cycle.
No.
Just like maximize the value that's gonna be coming through from this grip here.
We always get to that point where you have the concern if your life is too low, like how do you have the chance to pivot back?
For sure.
So
yeah,
if Aaron can put enough pressure on right here, then you start forcing that hand.
Right, and it is just, there's consideration that you can kind of give up the Just gonna block with the Grass Lower Knight. I was gonna say there's a consideration that you could block with like the Enlightened Strike, and just the Enlightened Strike and some armor, and then just give up on making the one attack on your your next Chalmahawk turn. But it does look like wants to opt to keep the E Strike for the arsenal at the end of this sequence. But he is gonna have to survive another turn of Heralds from Aaron here, depending on what we see coming out of the grip from this 4 cards. Nathaniel really sitting and thinking. He's gonna just opt to play the Enlightened Strike, so I imagine he's gonna be sinking the Force of Nature or the Channel Mount Heroic. But I imagine the Force of Nature, just like knowing that he's probably not going to get the opening for it again, and just go ahead and toss it away, set up for a big turn next turn. It does look like that was the play. We see Earthor Surge, Channel Heroic as our last 2 cards in hand here for Nathaniel.
So curious, why not play it first and then finish with the E Strike coming in for 10?
I guess you are just depriving. I think the idea is you're just depriving your opponent of the information that you have the blue. Or
Well, they know you had the Force of Nature. You put the Force of Nature blue back with the Channel Mount Heroic, so you can play it.
But the Force of Nature is not an Earth card.
Oh, that's true. Okay.
Yeah.
It's
So
elemental.
so now you're just like setting up for a bigger turn next turn. Because now he's not going to be playing the Channel Mount Heroic. We're instead going to pop that in our arsenal. And then wait for our next turn cycle to go a little wider. I imagine Nathaniel's like, oh, okay, well, if I can draw like 2 attacks here and a non-attack action, then I can go like super big. He does draw a Runic Reclamation.
Maybe I'm being daft. I don't understand, like, because you can pitch the Earthor Surge for the Channel Mount Heroic and then play the E Strike for 7, tucking the Force of Nature, still coming in for 10. You're set up for a full grip.
I think the idea is he's just playing a little more conservatively, and he wants to go a little wider on his Channel Mount Heroic turn. Alright, so you're on sort of the Miraging Metamorph here. No, Phantasmaclasm.
That's Miraging Metamorph. You're right. Yeah.
So we're gonna have a popper from Runic Reclamation here. Let's see if Nathaniel wants to lead on that. He's gonna throw the Earthor Surge in front. Yeah, so I imagine this means that Nathaniel did not find multiple attack actions for this hand, and instead he's just gonna kind of like sit, wait, make some blocks, and then try to make a bigger Channel Mount Heroic turn later down the line to just close out the game.
I don't know if he'll have the time.
I don't know if I'll have the time either, but it definitely seems like that's his game plan at this point.
Once you're below 15, I feel like you just have to like throw it down and pray your next grip actually has enough of a dig to put the pressure on the board.
Second attack's gonna be
That's the Chimera.
Chimera, yeah.
Yeah.
Enigma Chimera, yeah. So I don't know how much this attacks for, but
I
damage
think it's
5?
7 yellow.
Wow.
I think it was 876.
Okay. So again, Nathaniel's gonna go back in the tank. Is it worth using this Runic Reclamation to pop this?
One resource floating.
1 card in hand, so the odds are that
Come on, Aaron.
odds are Aaron's not gonna be able to make another attack even with a Boots activation. At best, he might make a Spectral Shield, but odds are he's just gonna opt to arsenal this
This
last
would be
card.
the one that you would want pop. That way, you kind of force the turn. But then again, do you just want to save that pop?
So there's a Runic Reclamation.
Yeah.
So we're gonna be popping this Chimera. Aaron is gonna
Boots?
use
Or
Boots,
just pass
but
the turn?
I mean,
okay,
wow!
yeah. He did Boots.
Celestial Cataclysm as the last card.
That's a Monarch classic.
so huge as the last card from Aaron here.
Threatening lethal. You have to block.
Now Nathaniel is forced to put another card in front of us.
Still have 3 block on the equipment still. 1 for grasp, 1 for chest, and 1 for creepers.
Yeah, but Nathaniel was like just banking on having this big Channel Mount Heroic turn, and now I just don't think we're ever going to be able to see it at this point. Yep, 2 cards in front. Gonna take 1 damage, 2 damage. So that's the full grip from Nathaniel. So we're just gonna see a drop and a pass back.
Just hoping that Aaron doesn't get the right grip.
Yeah.
He's got some heralds, so
I
I hope
will
protection.
say there is a world here where Aaron doesn't draw some heralds, but it's not this world.
Not this
the
one.
one we're currently living in.
But he does have an empty soul.
Yeah. Wartune blue to lead with a yellow strip, so that's going to be coming in for 5 with go again. We'll see if Nathaniel managed to find another popper or if he is just going to have to raw cover up this damage here. I don't think he had I don't remember if I saw any lightning presses or not. No lightning presses in Nathaniel's list either, so we just have those 6 attack cards to make the pops. Burgeoning gonna be the block on the first Herald. That will make the pop.
Protection.
Herald of Protection gonna be the second. We got, I've seen an Lightning Strike and an Autumn's Touch, so... And another Channel Mount Heroic. Man, really rough turn cycle here for Nathaniel. And... looking at that card in his arsenal, I think. I believe he has a Channel Mount Heroic in his arsenal.
Yeah, it was either that or Earth War Surge, and Earth War Surge makes no sense.
Yeah, so we're covering this up for 6. We're gonna take 1. And we are gonna throw away the Aether Weave, alright?
If you have the Earth card in hands, you just slam Mount Heroic and just hope you can...
I don't think he does. I think his last card is in, another channel. No, it's the Autumn's Touch. Okay, so we're gonna play the Channel Mount Heroic and hope to hold on to enough cards in the grip for a good CMH turn. But
here's where you need the crown.
yeah, this is
not terrible hands, but
yeah. We'll see.
I saw what Bramble Spark.
All right, so if that Bramble Spark has something to fuse with, then we could have a really strong turn if we get back to Nathaniel.
If you get back there, yeah.
Oh, but
never
an
mind. Hard
Arclight
pass.
Sentinel.
Yeah.
Ooh, that is not what you want to see if you're in Nathaniel's seat. That is
Cool.
probably the worst
Yeah,
thing you could have seen.
that's
Yeah.
game.
This was potentially the last turn you had to like scrape your way back into this, and now it's just
You have to fizzle your turn. The
just have
Spectra
to-
is
yeah.
just so great. Yeah.
I guess in theory we could see 2 cards pitched away to the Grasp. If he has a red Earth card. Wait, is actually gonna block the 1 attack
he
from
blocked
the
the 1.
Arclight Sentinel with the Bramble Spark, which I respect. You know you're gonna be taking a turn off anyways, so why not?
But that poor channel.
Make a rune chant, pop the Arclight Sentinel with the weapon. Channel Mount Heroic goes down. Yeah, if there was a red Earth card here and he could have just gone like make a rune chant, attack with weapon, and kept that Channel
Keep
Mount
it
Heroic
running for one
turn,
turn. Yeah.
we would probably be talking a different scenario. But
Yeah.
unfortunately, I think this game has just been a bunch of bad beats for Nathaniel. Another Miraging Metamorph on the lead for Aaron, and this game just further and further looks out of the grasp of Nathaniel. Got Nimbleism, a Sift,
So tomorrow,
Amulet of Earth.
Was it Amulet of Earth?
It's either Amulet or So Tomorrow. It's one of those. I can't see what that last card is.
I just see white and green. That's it.
It might be a Command and Conquer. He's not playing Command and Conquers. I don't know. Alright, so Sif.
Oh,
Fractal Replication. Again, that is
Oh, that's
every time I'm like, that's probably the worst card
Swarming
Aaron could
Moonveil.
have here.
He's shuffling it, but Swarming Moonveil. So blocking
Every
5 here,
time
taking
Aaron
2.
plays a card, I'm like, that's probably the worst card Aaron could have had for Nathaniel here. And it's just been that all game.
Oh, he's using Prism cards, which is good.
Prism
Illusionist
cards
is
are good.
decent. Huh.
I believe it.
That's good. Thanks, Aaron. We appreciate the dice representation of damage.
Yeah, thank you. And just so covering that up for
Blocking
gonna take 1,
5.
gonna take 2, yeah.
6, 7.
All right, that's the last bit of armor there from.
It's bleeding out. It hurts.
Yeah.
When you're using your armor to defend, and still no cards in hand.
Yeah.
Like that's when you know you.
I would say this game is over. For the
Yeah, it
most
was over
part.
2 turns ago.
If it wasn't over before, I think it was over when that Arclight Sentinel hit the battlefield.
Yeah. That's like cutting your foot and jumping into the ocean and let the seesaw just take you away.
And we have a Herald of Protection. Yep.
Full art like a champ. Or extended art, I should say.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Close enough.
Thanks, content creators. That must mean the pieces.
2 cards.
Force of
Take
Nature
1.
and Vigor Rush.
Vigor Rush, yeah, it looks like. Go to 2. Soul.
Just bleeding
Spectral
out.
Shield. Attack you for 1. Take the 1. It's
Man,
just,
I can't wait for Dynasty. It's gonna be great in this meta once Prism's gone. Oh, another Herald.
Yeah,
Just,
here's a- yeah.
shits and giggles. Yeah, good game.
Yeah.
Wow.
really dominating performance there from Aaron.
It was pretty clean. I don't think I even see. I'm not a Prism player by any means. I can criticize.
Yeah,
but
I'm really curious to see what happened on that first Channel Mount Heroic turn.
Yeah,
Because we missed it, and
the stream was down.
Aaron took no damage on that turn.
Yeah.
So I don't know if Nathaniel just like bricked on cards or what, but whenever you have a blank Channel Mount Heroic turn as a Briar, something has gone horribly wrong.
Yeah.
But we'll get Aaron over here in a moment just to have a nice chat.
Oh, it feels great. God bless you.
See what he has to say for himself. I'm sure he has a lot of things to say.
I'm great. I'm awesome. Prism's good. I'll miss her when she's gone. That's the whole conversation. So why are you running the Great Library? Card sucks.
Man, you know, it's funny because like I was like pretty certain Prism was going to be a top dog moving into this meta, but I think the more I see, the more I'm convinced. So sure.
This is a much healthier meta than what we had
Oh, for sure.
a few weeks ago. I really enjoy watching these games compared to. I expected that matchup to go a little bit more differently. I expected that to be more of like a tug of war. Like I was honestly expecting the Briar to keep up with the board state, but with like even with that being a heavily Spectra built deck, where was it?
Well, he just drew the right
Aggressive cards.
Yeah,
that
he
just
drew
keep
his
pressure
aggressive,
on.
and I'm sure that he boarded in such a way where he took out
Probably minimized some of it,
a
yeah.
lot of his lesser impact auras, and just like kept in a lot of the heralds.
So I think the first question we have to ask is why so many gloves?
Yeah,
Just curious.
I'm really curious as to why he's playing the Quelling Glows. That's like my biggest, because that's like such a. If that was like if Quell was something you could empty pitch into, then I would get it, because it's like, oh, I don't have any cards in my soul, but I need a way to get my auras to go again, so I'll just pitch this yellow to Quelling Gloves and then make a bunch of attacks for 1.
Right.
But in the absence of that, I'm not sure, honestly. Maybe it's a consideration for Kano. Like
To minimize one of the Blazing Aether turns.
Yeah, I was saying maybe it's better against Kano than Nolrune is or something.
That's the question I asked. Are you afraid of Kano right
I don't
now?
know, honestly.
I love this little support package here, though. That all you got, Fog Down, and Fendel's Fighting Spirit.
Yeah, just like a little bit of hedge against aggro. The leaner aggro decks. I don't think that all you got is something you can play against Briar.
Not consistently, no.
Yeah, I do feel like that all you got is a card you can only play into matchups where you know the opponent, you're gonna be able to consistently draw a card off of it. You know, you have to at least have like a 50% hit rate off of that card to like really hammer home.
And really, the only thing I can really think about is potentially the Prism matchup with the auras, or I guess Ninja to a degree, but not consistently. Because a lot of those are more threes baseline.
Threes, you know, if they have a turn where they have to play some of their yellows or blues, then you might get some twos.
Yeah, if they're trying to stick you down in the late game, replace it, keep yourself alive. Makes sense.
I think it makes a lot of sense as a build, as a card to play. I feel like you look at the card that all you got, and you're like, oh yeah, this is a card that I will play in my deck somewhere, sometime, somehow. But then it might not always like be as active as you like think it will be.
I think your question comes down to is it a wasted spot sideboarded now? Be curious to hear his perspective on like why it seems worth putting in, like which matchup specifically do you actually really utilize it?
I think the thing for that is like it's yellow in Prism, so like it's already kind of
A free pass,
not free, but it's
baseline
kind
deck
of
building,
free,
yeah.
right? It's a 0-cost defense reaction that blocks for 3, so it's a 0 for 3 block. So at worst, it's just like a card that blocks and pitches as a yellow, and at best, it's a defense reaction that cycles. It feels like a very for Prism specifically, it does feel like a card that is very low ceiling.
I can see it.
And like before Uprising came out, it actually wasn't super uncommon to see some Prism players play yellow Sink Blows.
There was a phase. I remember that.
So, you know, and the sinking part of Sink Below isn't like something you would utilize a lot as Prism. So just a card that might just replace itself is in theory better than Sink Below. So it makes sense if you're playing one to kind of hedge over.
I agree.
Aaron,
He's eating.
come eat your food into the microphone. Do a mukbang. So Aaron,
How's it going?
I have to say,
There's a camera
that was a
here, too.
very dominating game.
Yeah, I didn't quite expect it. I saw Briar and I was like, well, this is over.
Yeah.
And he channeled turn 1. I was like, oh, this is super over. But he kind of stumbled a bit.
Yeah, so our camera went out after that channel was played, and then the camera came back and your life total had not changed after that channel.
Oh, so what had happened was I blocked 2 cards for the erase face, took 3, and then I kept a blue and a fog down, and then I played the fog down, and he drew 4 non-attacks.
Pepperoni.
So he took, so he had 4 non-attacks in his hand, so it basically, his channel was blanked anyways, but he wasn't able to make a lightning, which is what he was trying to do. For
sure.
So the fog down didn't end up really mattering, but.
So the biggest question we have about your deck list is your very robust suite of arm equipments.
Yes.
What brought you to play Goliath Gauntlet, Dreamweavers, No Rune Gloves, and Quelling Sleeves?
So No Rune Gloves is pretty obvious, and a Rune Blade, every Prism plays that. Most Prisms are playing Ironhide Gauntlet, and I had been for a while, but I had decided against the Ninja matchups, I wanted to try the Quelling Sleeves into, and then that left on like, okay, so what matchups am I not playing No Rune Gloves, and that's not Ninja? Guardian, I don't need gloves to beat them, so it doesn't really matter. The mirror, it's like, I kind of wanted that extra aggro punch in the mirror, which was like the main consideration, since I was already playing Crown of Providence instead of Reflections in the mirror now, so that the erudition block I still have that for the headpiece, so now I can be a little bit more aggressive, so I tried the Goliath Gauntlet. Okay. And then Dreamweavers is just so that I could play Frightmare against Brute.
As far as new cards from Uprising, what do you think was the biggest addition out of the set to bring into Prism?
Oh, easily Frightmare.
I mean, that's got to be my answer, because that's like kind of my pet meme card I've been advocating a lot in Discord and stuff, and it ends up actually being better than I thought it was going to be. I think realistically though, like if you're not trying to be a meme lord, just that all you got is very good. It slots really well into the deck. It's just a yellow 3 block, and it's a cheeky. It's like when Prism used to play yellow Sink Below. Sometimes having that extra D-react can like help you with decks that are trying to be sneaky, like seeing Briar, and then it's just good into Ninja. And I expected to see more Phi and Katsu than I have, and it's really good into those. But even if it's not it, it's just a blocking card. Everything else is like you have to tech your deck around it to play it. I think that's like the one card that you just put in it, and you have no.
What has been the as you've kind of like gotten and acclimated to the new meta, what's kind of been the lowest performing stock Prism card in this new realm.
Odorath card sucks. I take it out. I didn't even want to put it in my deck, but I felt like if I saw a Brute or something, I might want it. I literally sided out against pretty much every deck. The zero block auras aren't very good against aggro unless your game plan is to only play auras. And I would rather play aggro cards into aggro matchups in the mirror. And Odorath is just like the worst performing one out of it. You have to already have a board for it to really close things out. It doesn't have a lot of immediate effect, and it's just like a card that doesn't block. So don't like it.
Once, assuming that Prism does hit Living Legend this season, which odds
It's
are
looking like
fairly likely.
Yeah.
What do you look forward to playing once Prism is gone?
Probably OG Bravo. I really like Guardian, and I think Guardian has a lot of good matchups into most of these decks that you're seeing now. I just don't like playing decks that have like 5% win rates against a deck that's really popular. So I feel like anytime I would bring Bravo to a tournament, I would be that guy who just fights all the Prisms all day and lose, and then I'd feel bad. So
If you could see one hero or one class in the future from LSS, what would you want to see?
like a new class,
Yeah.
probably Alchemist, just so I can finally see what these awful potions are actually meant to be used for.
Fair enough. Did you have any questions?
On that point of Alchemist, do you think Alchemists would actually utilize previous potions or have like ways of concocting their own potions?
I mean, I would expect they would print new ones
Okay.
with the class,
Okay.
but I would hope that they would implement some of the old ones, at least like the Welcome to Wrath ones, because like a lot of the Everfest ones are really gimmicky, so it really depends on how the hero ability and the class cards play out.
Right.
But like Energy Potion, Time Snap specifically, and even Potion of Strength to a
Yeah,
certain
give us some
extent,
powers to the OG ones.
yeah, is like they're just inherently powerful effects, and I think that as long as the class mitigates the downside of playing like an action without go again that doesn't block,
Okay.
you know, you can really snowball value with those cards. I mean, Energy Potion and Time Snaps makes its way into a lot of deck lists anyways.
Okay. Did he ask you about the single erase space?
He did not. No.
Why the single erase space?
I only have one. I don't.
If you had more, you would play more?
I don't think so. So when I make a deck and like the sideboarding, I usually try and like configure it for exactly 60 against different matchups, and it was kind of a filler card. I brought it for Viscerai because I expected Viscerai to be really powerful, but I don't want to play 3 because I think that would clunk my deck down too much with how it's built currently.
So that one good turn to set them back.
So I wanted that like one silver bullet just to really test it and see like how effective is this. Because Command and Conquer has been like a popular pick for Prism against Rune Blades, and I've always had like middling success with it. I'd much prefer to just try and fractal aggro with bigger numbers. But Erase Face I think has a significantly better on-hit effect against Viscerai than Command and Conquer.
I agree.
So I've just been mainly trying it out for him, and then I might bring in the mirrors, you know, because it's an extra popper, I guess.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Go enjoy
all
your
I
pizza
got.
for the next
Yeah.
round.
Spooky Horse wins another game.
Enjoy your what I assume is a lock for top 8 at this point.
I think it is. Yeah.
Yeah, so
We'll see you again.
best of luck. Yeah, I'm sure we'll see you again on camera at some point. And we'll be back after this break for round 5.